This tutorial is monochrome painting to help beginners understanding the values, intensity of pigment for watercolor. I start with just a clear wash of water over the top half of the painting. I have drawn in cypress trees and the trunks of a couple of palm trees in the middle. I'm leaving the middle section of the sky light on purpose, so it's a burst of light coming through. I'm using something like a number 10 and number 12 to lay down the lightest wash. Now the three washes are light, medium and dark, and they're all the same pigment, which is an indigo. So you don't have to worry about lots of different colors for this, which is, I think, very useful in learning the watercolor technique. So just the one pigment all the way through, light, medium and dark. And of course you started with a wash of water over the top half of the painting. So with the burst of light coming in the middle of the painting, the trees on the left part of those trunks would be darker. And then the trees on the right part of those trunks would be darker. So now I've gone into the middle intensity of wash, the medium wash, and laying those darker areas in. So just continue with that, laying the pigment down as necessary. Now I'm putting in the trunks of the palm trees in the distance, in the middle, and the wash of water is still very wet in the middle. And as you can see, when I'm laying down this next pigment, it is fusing in, which is fine. Let it fuse in. We want that. At a later stage in the painting, we'll be laying over some much darker pigment, the darkest of the three in this monochrome painting. Now I've gone to the darker pigment for these various limbs coming off the trunks of the cypress trees. And they do look quite strong, but don't worry about that. They do lighten as they dry, but we are going to fuse those in. We're going to use a brush in a little while on those and break them up as if that's leaves coming off the limbs. Here we go. Gone to a flat type brush. You can use something like a half size for this and just dab into that dark pigment and fuse it into the paper which is still wet. Now, this painting literally was very fast. I know it's only a 9-minute video, or 6-minute video, but in fact it was a very fast painting, and you'll be able to do that in time as well the more you practice this. And it's highly recommended for when you're learning transparent watercolor to do a series of these. You can do trees, you can do landscapes, you can choose almost any subject really that would be appropriate for this technique. So now just putting in a little bit of downward strokes for Spanish moss. You can use a number 4 or a number 2 size brush for that. You basically using the pigment that's already on the paper. Having done that, I'm darkening up some more now, the appropriate sides of the cypress trees. Having done that, the water, a wash of clear water over the water area first of all, like we did in the sky, and then downward strokes for the trunks of the cypress trees, and then come across horizontal strokes for the various limbs and their leaves reflecting in the water. And just darken up certain areas. Those cypress trees have various ridges near the base of the trees. And we'll also be putting in a few what are called knees of the cypress trees, which apparently help them to breathe the oxygen. So continue with that. And now the paint has dried off quite significantly, and I'm using the dry brush technique with the darkest of the pigment, and just scraping it in over the various limbs, and using those downward strokes again for some more Spanish moss, and darkening up the palm trees as well here and there, and emphasizing some of the foliage on those. And do remember to like and subscribe, because it is all free, so you'll be notified of future videos when they occur. So these are the so-called knees that have been laid in, and now on the far bank we're just adding a little bit of dark where the water meets the bank. I quite like leaving that light area just above it. And just finish off here and there by emphasizing different parts, play around with it. Here I'm just adding a few more of the palms on the palm trees, and that's finished, and it's quick and easy. Thanks for watching. See you next time.